welcome to Interview with a Vampire Superfan Roundtable. My name is Ray Gore, and I have my co-host with me, Black Girl Talk Fangs, otherwise known as BGTF, and Kristina from Vampire Insider. And today we are going to be talking to a member of the Theatrics Coven, and his name is KP. And could you say your last name for me, please?
It's Phagnasy. I know it's hard.
I don't want to butcher it. So KP
It's
Phagnasy,
thank
and you play Quang Pham in season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Did I say that right?
that is correct. You didn't pronounce it right. Perfect.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. The first thing I just want to jump right into it is if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where are you from, and how did you get involved with the Interview with a Vampire production?
Well, actually, I say originally I was actually made in Laos. So I was born in Laos. I came here to the United States as part of the Vietnam War era. So I'm a refugee from Laos. Came in here, in the early '80s and lived here in the States for a long time. I've been here in this country for 42 years, so I'm pretty up there in age. But in
Yeah.
terms of how I got involved in acting and all that stuff, I've always been fascinated with storytelling. In our culture, there's a lot of stories, a lot of festival, a lot of shadow puppets, a lot of all these elements that just make such a great background for where I wanted to go. And how I got involved into the vampire, like any actors, you get your agent to submit all those things in the process, let the process begin. And so I was very blessed and fortunate to be picked up as a member of the coven in the series of season 2. So, and it's also very honored to be part of the cast because being only a few American actors on the set, but everyone else is a British actors, which is amazing. So that's where I started. So that's how I got started and got involved in the series. Just a blessing.
Yeah, and you you're quite active on your Instagram and Twitter, and you've posted some really cool behind the scenes content. And it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun, and that there was a lot going on with the theatricalness of it all. And I wanted to know for that character, for that you kind of showed a picture of that character, his background story with his father and everything. And was that something for a lot of the other characters, or was that just a select few?
So I think it was for everyone in that the coven. We all had a booth and had all our pictures, our little backgrounds. But I think what is even before we were at the set, we had an opportunity. Levin and I had a conversation. We had a FaceTime. We could kind of talk about the character, where we wanted to go with it. And so that was something that was given to us, just a little bit, it's a little outline. And we, as actor, we fill in the rest of the blank, the rest of everything, add on the nuances. But it's good to know the little history behind it because, like I said, the folks and the series and the writers and creators are so creative. I was just so blessed to be part of that piece of the puzzle and add to that beautiful picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I always hear a lot of really good things from so many of the cast members and the production team, and how there's a lot of it is a team effort. It seems like is to bring these characters together, and I just think that's so cool. And so when you're playing this character who's an actor playing a vampire, and you as an actor are playing that actor, was that a challenge for you, or was that what inspired you for that?
The thing about for us actor is we come into play, because also being an actor and also being from the theater background. So everybody from the coven had a theater background. So we felt like a company members and we just felt blend in. We knew what it was like to be in a company. And not only that, for my character, the background, because his mother was a Vietnamese Chinese opera singer in a theater. So he grew up in that sense. So it's kind of add on to the beautifulness of the character itself. That's what it makes it so much fun get to play for all of us that have been to theater. When we first came to rehearsal at Berendorf Studio, we did theater games. We got
Oh,
together, silliness, do silly warm-ups, and we just felt this is a company member. So when we got to know each other, the more comfortable we got, the more playful we get to be, and also with the what we bring into the character. And so everything we've done was just it felt home. You know?
it's like a family. It
Oh,
seems like you
absolutely.
guys had a family going on.
Oh yes, we absolutely have families. Of course, in the family dynamic, we play jokes, we do certain things to each other to keep us on track. We have arguments, all these things. That's what makes it unique. It feels like we weren't acting, we're just actually living and being that membership, the coven.
Kind of picking up on the sort of company vibe that you had both in the show, but then also interviews that I've seen and read since. And I'm wondering, so you said there was some practical joking. Who's the biggest practical joker in the company?
I can't say like one particular because we all have our quirks and little things, Jenny has her own little quirkiness in the English. She does her things, and of course, Jake is a handball as well too. Ben, Andrew, even with Christopher who plays Sam, we just all have a little uniqueness. I wouldn't say one of us is better than the good, like very competitive as actor itself, but in terms of goofball, we're all goofball. We do certain things, and when we're bored, like we're sitting there, one person will just come off the air and do something crazy stuff, and we all laugh. We never know. It's like it's coming in every day on set. We don't know what's going to happen, but we were going for the ride. We're just going to just have fun on set, behind the scenes, and that's what it felt like for me. It's like I just like this is really really cool. The one of the amazing casts I ever worked with, where everybody just came in and ready to have fun and play joke. Always play joke with each other. Oh my gosh. And of course, Ben Daniel is a hoot too. He's so when he's off camera, the little quirkiness that he does to get us on our feet. And even Jay, even like I said, Assad, he has a joke himself too. So everybody, like cast member, it kind of felt blend in, It just felt like what is Jacob going to do today? What is Seth going to do today? We never know. So, but we're always on our toes.
That's awesome. And then one follow-up question, because one of the things that we've been talking about on my podcast, Vampire Insider, is would Claudia, if there was no Louis, would Claudia have fit in, do you think, to the coven as a coven member?
That's a good question.
I think she has such a need to be part, but at the same time, for us members like Leary too, what is this girl? Who is this girl? Even without Louis, I think she'll be lost, still be a little lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't separate those two.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's an integral part of the dynamic with the coven itself, of course, and the dynamic between Louis and Armand. So there's all that intertwined. So you can't really separate that. So in order for her to function, because she feels like a family, even with the coven, but they were still part where she needs the other side of the family, which is Louis. You know that. So
yeah. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
BGTF.
Speaking of Claudia, Baby Lulu song obviously is "I Don't Like Windows When They're Closed." Did you at any point, or did any of the coven members at any point behind the scenes just sing that to each other just as a form of like torture, or was it something that was just so catchy that it didn't feel, trolling at all?
The answer is yes. It is torturing. That's the great thing about that's the great thing about us. Even when we could hear, we would just be humming. We would learn the French version. We couldn't keep it out of our head. But it was.
Wait, you know the French version, KP?
I know a little bit because in the show there's a little bit where we perform in the French version. Remember that but I knew a little bit, but we were mouthing most of the time, because I was a bee. I was in the hole, one of the bees.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And
so
it was very funny, when we were doing the even the rehearsal, the song, we would like look at each other and like trying to catch us guard, and we were singing the hum that song. It's like stop, and it was stuck in our head. It was literally stuck in our head where we were like, we're too much, we're too extra.
What's it called? Trauma bonding?
Yes.
It works. Whatever you fan believes in love, it worked, and it worked really well. And we love it.
Don't forget your lines, or we're gonna sing at you.
I actually wanted to ask about the fans. As you can see, we are a group of fans here, and I wanted to know coming in if were you what is your background with Anne Rice, and what were you surprised by this fan base that has that you have kind of I don't know that maybe you knew about us before, but what do you think about the fan base?
So, but first of all, I actually know about Anne Rice. In fact, when I got married, I actually got married in New Orleans, right in front of Jackson Square in the Canyon.
Oh
And
my
when I
gosh.
was there in New Orleans, I was able to go, and one of those tours, of course, passed by her house. So that was, so I know the
Wow.
history of it. Of course, there was the movie of it. So there's a huge fan stuff. In terms of me becoming into the series itself, it was just, wow, this is such an amazing story itself, the way it's created, and and knowing there's a huge fan base. I'm not just only shocked, but I'm like, this is such a cool bunch of group to be involved with. They're so amazing, they're so loyal, they know what they're doing, they get so emotional about the work that is there. So with the productions and everybody involved in it, I mean, man, this is so much fun to be involved in this immortal universe, right? We call it now. So, and just being part of that. So me understanding Anne Rice's work and knowing the fandom, I am shocked because I've gotten reach across globally, from all over the world. And I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, you guys, I am as a talent, and watching the reaction for you guys have made this possible. That's why I love the fan base so much. And that's why I love sharing you guys some of the behind the scenes stuff, because I think, like, I want to feed you guys even more now.
There was a very long dry spell, KP, and
Yes.
you were a lifeline for many of
Yes.
us. So thank you.
Yes. No, I cannot appreciate you enough for those behind the scenes footage, because yes, this is a very hungry fan base, and it's so cool that I really love that they got a that you could have just been vampire number 3, but that you have a background, you have there's a story to tell, and you've kind of made a family from this, and so besides from being trauma bonding over the windows when we're close, do you have any other favorite set stories before we close out our interview?
I love there's so many set stories, but I love the court scene. But one of my favorite, places I love was at the mansion, the murder mansion. It was such a beautiful evening night when we all got together. And of course, you saw the video behind the scene where all of us are just dancing, just waiting. So those are one of my favorite moments in the series itself, where everybody has so much fun. It's beautiful. Like I said, this production, the cast, the creator from Roland Jones, from Mark Johnson, everybody has put so much work, and I'm so excited for the things that are coming up. So, and working on this.
The 3.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. All I can say is take the journey, always an adventure. But I always say, right, it's always keeping it sexy and spicy. That's my phrase.
I've loved your sexy and spicy slogan. It's so entertaining. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for our round table, and I am really looking forward to season 3. Although I'm not sure if your character, well, maybe Quang Pham has made it out. We don't know. Memory's a monster. What does Louis know?
I said I love what they are doing, and I'm looking for the adventure what they're doing. It's like I let that creative side, like I said, it's in good hand, guys.
Oh yeah.
What's next for you? Do you have anything that's coming up?
I do have other projects. I've from my Dahmer series, from the Brother Son series to this series, I've just been on a really blessing. I've got a lot of other projects in ahead. I'm just love the adventure. As an actor, we just want to get back on set to work. We enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really glad that you had such an amazing experience. That's all I ever hear is amazing experiences from this team, and it makes me so happy, and it's why the show is so good, is because everybody just seems to be having so much fun.